Welcome to the me. It is me, your girl, Labora Lee. And let me say this: we have a lot to get talk about today. It's a crazy time right now we have been. So I want to get into it. Hold on, I gotta stretch my mic a little bit. But meanwhile, today is Media Monday. And what happens on Media Monday is this: we talk about all the trending topics, all the things that are going on in the world, and sometimes some shenanigans too. You know what I mean? Like we get it in. But before I get into all of that, I'm gonna get everything straight up in here because Mama's dealing with some things around the house, baby sick, all of that good stuff. But we'll talk about it in a minute. Hold tight. Check this out.
Want last-minute brand design help? Get top-tier Fiverr freelance creatives at your fingertips, fast, with secure payments and 24/7 support. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
So yes, it's Media Monday. On today's episode, we got a lot to talk about. We are gonna get into a little bit more into the Young Jock story because we talked about it, but we didn't really cover it all. We are gonna talk a little bit more about Blac Chyna as well. Who else is on the docket for the night? We are going to talk about the mayhem and the craziness that is going on in this world, amongst a few other things. So, if I were you, I would stay tuned and listen in and find out what's going on because it's crazy out here. Like I said, the more media, the more problems. But before I get into all of that, let me just say that everything on this podcast is alleged. We don't know. We weren't there. We can't tell you if it happened, if it really didn't happen. We just can't tell you. If I decide to play any music on this episode, which I probably won't because it's all about the media today, but if I do, know that I have full permission to play any music that I play on this podcast. I would not play music that I don't have permission to play. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It's just a click. It's not going to cost you anything, and it helps the podcast out a lot. It helps with our growth. So I would appreciate it if you did that. Join the conversation because we're all about conversation and interacting with our peoples. So drop a comment. And remember, we are on all streaming sites, Spotify, um, iHeartRadio, iTunes, the list and goes on Google Podcasts. We're everywhere. Amazon Music, we're everywhere. So check us out. And if you want to be on the show, know that you are an email away. You could just hit us up ambitiously the podcast at gmail.com, ambitiously the podcast at gmail.com. I want to make sure I say all of this early because I have a tendency to say it a little late, but I'm going to say it again. So just bear with me. Um, so let's get to the first thing on our agenda this evening. So I don't know. For those who watched the show, I mentioned this in the headline, which I believe it was Fire Friday. I mentioned it because on Fire Fridays I do drop headlines. I just don't read the full story. I don't give you all the full tea, but I do that on purpose because I know on Media Monday we probably gonna cover it anyway. So I didn't give the full story, but I did drop the headline, and so I'm gonna give you the deets right now. I'm gonna give you the details right now because it's very important that we can't just drop headlines and then not tell you the full story. So we're gonna get into it. So first things first, let's talk Young Jock. Now, as we all know, Young Jock has a lot of kids. I believe he's at 10 at this moment. But recently he was arrested, and he was arrested on charges of child endangerment and later charged with child abandonment. Now, hold on, let me turn that down a little bit because I'm a little closer to my mic. The rapper was pulled over by Atlanta PD Thursday for speeding. Cops ran his license and discovered it was suspended. So that's one thing. He posted a $1,300 bail after being arrested for child endangerment in Gwinnett County, Georgia. In Georgia, he later revealed that the child support issue with one of his baby mamas spurred the arrest. Now, he's explaining his arrest and booking charge after being brought into Gwinnett County Jail on child abandonment, confirming that the abandonment charge does involve child support payments, and he made it clear that no form like there's no form of abandonment that occurred. Um, while the rapper chose not to name the child's mother, he shared that he was paying between $4,000 to $5,000 to her. Um, Jack is a father. Oh, okay, so my number was wrong. He's the father of 8 with 4 different mothers to his children. He said that once he realized that he was paying way too much, he tried to get the attorneys involved to come to an agreement about the amount of child support payments. But when he approached the mother about reducing the payments amount, she was not here for it. She wasn't on board. That person got mad, Jack added. That mother got mad. No, you're supposed to keep paying me this. Jack said that after that incident, he and the unidentified woman were not able to agree on new child support payment or amount, to which she took the situation to Gwinnett County Police, who issued a warrant for his arrest for abandonment. Yo, I'm sorry, y'all hear that. Hold up. I don't know what's going on. If I wanted y'all to hear that, y'all would hear that. My phone is crazy. It does what it wants. Now, here's the thing. Let me make sure. Okay. Here's my thing and then my take on that. Now, one thing is, first, let me start by saying that, is that I always believe that a father should take care of his children. Ladies, though, when you are in a situation where the father is doing what he's supposed to do for the child, take it easy on him. I've heard so many ladies talk about being single moms when the dad is totally in the picture. No, you're not a single mom in the sense of what single mom means. What it means is you might be single and yeah, you're a mom, but you still have that support. And when you have that support, it makes it look bad, or it makes it harder on a lot of these ladies out here who eventually will become mothers, and it makes it extra hard on women who are out here trying to support their children and have the fathers of those children involved. Like, it's bad enough they already put this stigma, put us in the box and say we all the same. So when you do stuff like that, it is most unfortunate because then they're gonna stick us all in the box and say we're all the same. And now you're trifling baby mama. And so they're gonna look at us all like we're trifling baby mamas, and that is so far from the truth. Unfortunately, that's how they think. That's how they look. I've seen it. I'm not gonna say all men do that, but a lot of men think that way. If one woman does one thing, then all women are the same, and that's unfortunate. It's not cool. So we got to do better as moms. Taking care of our kids. We got to do much, much better. We got to do better with being able to, even if we don't like the other parent, we have to be able to co-parent with the other parent. We can't just, especially people of color, because it's rough out here for our offspring, and they need guidance. They need people in their corner, and they need people that got their back. Now, you can't force him to be that, but if he is that, then embrace it and appreciate him, and let him know that you appreciate him doing and being what he's supposed to be. No, I'm not saying, you got to be all like crazy, like, oh my God, I got a good baby. But if you're a good baby daddy, you know what I mean? Hold it down for that dude. Like, hold him down and don't be out here being a messy baby mama. And if you need to make an adjustment, you need to make an adjustment. Sometimes it happens like that. Not always are our finances going to be the same way they once were. Things change, things switch up. It's cool, but at the same time, dads, don't don't start trying to act crazy because you got new situations. No, be the same father you were before you got in your new situation or new scenario. If you can't afford it, have a discussion. I can't say that. Listen, what I was paying, I can't pay that anymore because I can't afford to pay that. And ladies, if he says that to you, then you have to be understanding and y'all got to come up with a new solution. That's it. Because really, at the end of the day, it ain't about you. It ain't about him. It's really about the kid. Simple as that. But, I can't tell anybody what to do or how to be. They just going to be that way anyway. So remember to drop a comment, join the conversation. Tell me how you feel about that. I would like to know. I just think differently. I know y'all hear that siren in the background because I totally hear it, but it is what it is. Um, so anyway, let's get to this Black China situation. Now, I'm gonna get into the story, but I'm gonna give some what should I say? I want to say more so of a prerequisite to this story. Come on, get out of here. I live very close to a hospital, so sometimes you'll hear that in the background. I mean, really close. It's like around the corner. Uh, but so sometimes you might hear a helicopter. You might hear a, a siren from ambulances, or maybe perhaps police cars or fire trucks. I don't know what it is, and I live close to a fire department too. So we don't know what we're gonna hear. We just gotta deal with it. But anyway, let's get to this Black China situation. So let me give a prerequisite. We know we've talked about it on this show a couple of times about how she was suing the Kardashians. Unfortunately for her, the judge and the jury did not agree with the situation. So that kind of got kicked out of court. So let's get up to date. After losing her court case and becoming involved in an assault allegation, because yeah, that happened too. Let's just talk about it. An assault that came from an altercation with Sequania King. I hope I said that right. Outside of a bar in Los Angeles, the fight began when China accused King of recording her with her cell phone at the bar. After King denied the allegations, she and China moved their argument outside. The celebrity then took King's phone, smashed it to the ground, and then kicked King in the stomach. China's friend later pulled her away and got her in a car and left. It was a lot in between that, though. It was a lot. I saw the footage. King has made it clear that she is pressing charges. So yeah, it was a lot of melee. It was a lot. Dang, did I did I keep that? I doubt that I did though. Sometimes I just look at this footage and be like, oh, that happened. Okay, let me keep it moving. But then we have to discuss it, which I'm gonna start doing better at that, keeping it so we can listen to what's going on. But yeah, so it was a lot of melee. So King said, like I said, she said she's pressing charges on Black China. Now Black China is confirming that she will be competing against influencer Alyssa Megan in a celebrity boxing match in June. Celebrity boxing match. Okay, so the celebrity boxing Instagram post that the two women will compete for the female world title and that it will take place in Florida. I saw the video. Saw you know how they stand, they get ready, they pose like yes, this is happening. A video of the two women at a press conference shows Megan push China, leading her to grab a microphone and say, "I think that's really really cute." But I hope that you know that June 11th is on. So she said, I'm going to hold my composure until June 11th, which is so weird because that's in between my mom and my dad's birthday. My mom's is the 10th, my dad's is the 12th. So they're fighting in between that. Oh, that's weird. So The celebrity boxing match was originally a TV series, if you guys remember, that ended up only airing 2 episodes. However, it's continued outside of television and has continued the success over the last 20 years. Celebrities who have participated in the past include Tanya Harding. If you don't know who she is the lady responsible for getting next Nancy Kerrigan, all ice skating, hit in the shin and kind of messed her up for that particular situation. Jack's Jack Osborne, which is Ozzy Osbourne's son, and Vanilla Ice. And y'all should know. I don't know where y'all at if y'all don't know who Vanilla Ice is. Ice Ice Baby. You don't know who that is, but anyway. So that's going down. Then it was announced after all of that that Black China stated that she's born again after getting baptized for her 34th birthday. I'm not mad at her finding the Most High. Like, I'm not upset with that. Like, I think that at some point in time, you do come to a place where you do find the Most High. I hope it's genuine. I can't say whether or not it is or it isn't. But I hope that it was genuine, her finding her peace with the Most High. I'm going to tell you, like, it took me a minute to find my peace, but it ain't the way that y'all tell me to find my peace. I figured it out, for myself that he is here and he lives here and it just is what it is. So I hope that China, that's genuine. Don't play with the Most High, girl. I'm interested to see this boxing match. Because is it gonna be catty? Like, what is it gonna be? I'm interested to see how this is gonna look, how it's gonna play out. I did see, like I said, the video of the 2 ladies when the announcement came for the boxing match. But it's different when you in the ring. Are they really gonna like really train for this? Like, because people play games and then they get in there and they look crazy. What is exactly is gonna happen? So I hope as we build up to June the 11th that we get some footage of what's going to happen. What might happen between the two. I'm interested. I am. I'm really, really interested. I am. So we're gonna see what happens. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens. All right, y'all. We have to get into the seriousness that is the world that we live in. It scares me to talk about these things sometimes, but it's very necessary to talk about these things. So we're gonna get into it. I can't let go of that. I am gonna play, and I need to put my Bluetooth on so that I can make sure you guys. Well, I'm not gonna put it on until I'm absolutely ready with the right clip. No. But it's a lot going on in the world right now, and it's a scary thing, I think, personally. So it's a couple situations that I'm gonna talk about this evening. And I want to get to the clip before yeah, okay. So I wanted to get here first before wait, that's not the one. All right, so there have been many times in our life, there we go. Okay. In our lifespan as people of color, non people of color, it's just people in general. Things have happened that have been most unfortunate. Nobody deserves it. Not Caucasian, not African American, not Asian, not, I don't care what color you are. Nobody deserves the kind of bullshit and treachery that we've been experiencing lately. But we had one situation that happened in Buffalo, New York. They did come to terms that it is a hate crime because, and if you see the video, then you know it was a hate crime. Now, a question was posed, and I'm going to get to this question before I read this next story because, yeah, it was crazy. But listen to this. Hold on. Let me get connected really quick. Let me make sure that light is on. But all right, we're good. The question was posed, and and then I had this conversation earlier, and it was very important to what I'm about to say. There is always a divide in people. And unfortunately, it's not us bringing us, the general population, bringing the divide. It's unfortunately, and I'm a part of the media, but it's the media bringing the divide because then you have questions like this. Now, listen to this. Hold on.
Of 18-year-old males, especially, are not fully formed. Is there a possibility that there was some kind of mental illness that triggered this?
Well, here's the crazy part. Tomorrow I'm preaching about mental illness and murder with Cain and Abel. But although his brain may not have been fully formed, at 18, his brain was fully formed enough to pick up a weapon and drive to Buffalo. His brain was fully formed enough to put his finger on a trigger. His brain was fully formed enough to point at people, at women, at anybody who was in his path. His brain was fully formed.
Yeah,
and if it hasn't been fully formed, it should be fully formed, hopefully by the time he gets out of jail. And if he gets out of jail, because at the end of the day, 18 is formed enough to know better.
Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to play that really quick because I noticed that there is a difference when it comes to us killing each other. We're thugs, we're this, we're that. Mental illness is never brought up when it comes to us, but when it comes to other races, and I ain't talking about races of color, there is that. Could it be mental illness? No, it could be that he had every intent to do what it is that he said he was going to do. There is a clip. Hold on. There is a clip where he has on a GoPro. It's shown in the clip. He very much has that on, and he very much points the gun at a Caucasian man on the floor, and sees that it's a Caucasian man, and then says sorry and redirects the gun. It's insane to me that is. Then there's the question of whether or not it was mental illness. Now listen to this young lady also, because then I got to get to this next situation that happened. But listen to this young lady also. She was the manager at the store where the young man went in and took those lives. Listen to this.
The line with us, Letitia, if you're there, thank you for joining us. It's my understanding that you were working inside of the Tops Market. I believe you were an assistant manager there. Can you walk us through what you saw this afternoon?
I didn't really see much at all. I just heard the gunshots and just dropped down to the ground and just waited for him to stop. And he just wouldn't stop. So I tried to call 911 and I was whispering because I could hear him close by. And when I whispered on the phone to 911, the dispatcher would start yelling at me saying, "Why are you whispering? You don't have to whisper." And I'm trying to tell her, like, "Ma'am, he's in the store. He's shooting as an active shooter. I'm scared for my life." And she said something crazy to me, and then she hung up in my face. And I had to call my boyfriend and tell him to call 911.
Well, that is certainly unfortunate, Letitia.
Now, then that's the other question. Why is it when we call and you hear that it's us that, you give us attitude? When we're in the situation, we're going through it. Like, she's in the store and she is dealing with the fact that it's an active situation in the store and you lay her out. Like, a lot of people lost their lives in this situation, and it's most unfortunate. And we need to start taking, just because they're people of color doesn't mean that you get to take them any less serious than you take somebody who is of another ethnicity. It's unfortunate that happened, and we know for a fact that he went in and he targeted those people because they were African American. The neighborhood was a low-income African American community, but yet they're asking questions like, well, do you think it was mental health? No, I think that children learn what you teach them. I think that was a taught ideology that he had, and it stuck with him. And if his parents didn't teach him, my apologies. Maybe he learned it somewhere else, but I'm quite sure they played a part in it too. But then we had the situation out in California, which is it's oh my gosh, it's just too much. All right, so this joint happened at a church, y'all, and it's sickening. Oh my gosh, and here goes sirens again, and it's so Geneva Presbyterian Church. That's the name of the church. At least one person has passed and 5 were wounded, including 4 who were critically injured after another mass situation went down on Sunday at a church in Laguna Woods, California. The sheriff's department said. David Chu, 68, of Las Vegas, Nevada, was named as the suspect on Monday by the sheriff's department. He has been booked on 1 felony count of taking somebody's life and 5 felony counts of attempting to take people's lives. The department said in the tweet, the situation happened at the Geneva Presbyterian Church during a lunch reception to honor a former pastor of the Taiwanese congregation that uses the church for its worship services. The police have a suspect in custody. Orange County Sheriff, Under Sheriff Jeff Hollock said during the news conference on Sunday evening. He is believed to be an Asian man in his 60s who doesn't live in the area. Investigators are working to determine whether he has any connection to the church or its congregants. The suspect was detained at the scene after a group of people at the church were able to hogtie his legs with an extension cord and confiscate at least 2 of his firearms from him. Y'all, I'm pumped for them. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Fight back. Y'all said y'all ain't gonna let them. No. Authorities said that the victims injured in the situation included 4 Asian men ages 66, 75, 82, and 90. What? 92. And one Asian woman who was 86. Oh my gosh, what is going on in this world right now? This is a scary, scary place we live in right now, and it is vexing me. Like it's driving me insane. Like, oh my gosh, what, and why? Why is this? What is going on? Even here in my city, like I turn on the news every morning and I use the news to help me get my child ready, get my child out of here and ready for school. But unfortunately, when I turn on the news, I see nothing but sadness and it breaks my heart, yo. Like, we gotta really get this together. I don't know how we're gonna do it, how it's gonna come together, but we gotta do it. Like, it's ridiculous at this point. I'm so tired of the mess. I really am. And I just had to speak on that. I did. It's a few other things I want to talk about. I want to talk about this young lady who's from my city. Oh my gosh, y'all. I just had to give a moment because there's a lot of people that lost their lives over this last week, and it's just vexing. It's scary. I'm sorry, I know I'm going off, but it's scary. It's insane, and it's just uncalled for. Like, we got to get our lives together. I don't know, and I know it's not all of us, but to those ones that are out here nutting up, I need us to get it together. But let me speak on somebody from my city and her shenanigans because I have to. Now, I don't know if I spoke on this Friday, but I'll speak on it again because I have more information. So, Krishan Rock. If you don't know who she is, if you're grown, you probably don't know who she is. And if you're from my city, you probably do know who she is. So I'm gonna give y'all a synopsis. It's a young lady. She is an artist. She's from Baltimore City. She's out in Cali right now. Recently, if you listen to this podcast, you should totally know who she is. But if by chance you're new to this podcast, I'll fill you in. Like a couple of months ago, I reported that her and WEC 100, and if you don't know who he is, he's management for Blueface. He's management for the game. He's managed Ray J. He's managed a few people, right? And he's always in something. I mean, always in something. If it's not some clubhouse shenanigan. Recently, his something was with Hassan Campbell, which is a fellow YouTuber or vlogger or whatever you want to call us, I guess. You know what I mean? But he's an influencer. And Hassan got some tapes of WEC running his mouth, and it's gotten ugly. WEC has also recently gotten into something with Jay Prince Sr., the father, not the son, and it's over this Larry Hoover situation, which we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth a little later on. And it's been trickling, like every time you turn around, it has something to do with WEC in the middle of something. But in this situation with this young lady, WEC was going hard at her, like he wanted her to go, and she wasn't trying to hear it. And so the police were called and all kinds of stuff to try to get her to go. It was nutty. I feel like, and the whole thing is she deals with Blueface. Like, that's one of his chicks. He got a couple, but she one of them, and she ain't trying to hear leaving that dude. But recently, I think I read this on Friday, she was arrested in New Orleans for an out-of-state warrant. The warrant that she was arrested for was possession of a vehicle that did not belong to her. Actually, it belonged to Blueface, and some other possession with the intent. But she is out now. And this situation baffles me because she's out, she chilling, she having a good time. But guess who she's out with? Blueface, the same person who accused her of stealing his car. So it baffles me, the situation. I'm trying to figure it out. I just don't understand what's going on with them. We talked about Jamal Bryant and him calling out Kevin Samuels, and Kevin Samuels not here. And you had ample opportunity to say it to his face, Jamal, but you didn't. But what came out behind that whole situation is that the GoFundMe that was created for his funeral was fake, apparently. Now, the person who created the GoFundMe then, in turn, I guess they was trying to save themselves from getting in trouble, tried to give the money to the family. The family refused it. It's a weird situation, so pretty much more should be coming out about that situation. Then, of course, people revisited the situation where Dr. Dre lost $2 million, which he almost was a billionaire, but because of that $2 million that he lost from his Apple Beats deal, which was because he prematurely came out and started talking about it, and they backed up. So yeah, it got weird. So that's something else on the market. Viola Davis is to receive the Women in Motion Award. Hey, I'm with it. I'm all about women empowerment. That's a big thing for me. You know what I mean? Y'all, I got to talk about this real quick. And then I got time. I got to talk about this really quick. So I like sports. I love sports. So every now and again, you'll hear me throw in a sports headline, and we're going to talk about it. But we got to talk about this one right here. NBA star Rajon Rondo allegedly pulled a gun on the mother of his children and threatened her life following the dispute. I want to know what is going on with these athletes and their need to like go hard on I don't know. We had the situation with the ex-Raven player, and he thanks, babe. We had the situation, that was her. We had the situation with the ex-Raven player where he threatened her and the kids. Now we got Rajon Rondo. I don't know what's going on right now. I just don't. It's crazy. It's nuts out here. Um, but yeah, that's the rumor. That's what's on the rumor mill. He done threatened a girl and is ready to take her out. And let me just give y'all a little bit more of a tidbit of why he did that, why he pulled the gun on her over a video game. Girl, leave that man video game alone. So yeah, that was crazy. Oh, so guess what they're doing? They're doing a remake of the 1990 film House Party, and it hits HBO Max on July the 22nd. I do know that DC Young Fly is in that joint. With a host of other people in there as well. So I can't wait to see what happens with that. Yeah, it's happening. Lil Wayne gets mocked for sitting courtside to watch the Suns lose days after he took a shot at Luka Doncic. I don't know how to say that, but whatever. It happens. People are always running their mouth. Update on the Mac Miller situation. Because I told y'all that they were going after, and it's not just one dealer, it's a couple of dealers, but they had one particularly in custody. Wow, he's been sentenced to 17 years in prison behind, the death of Mac Miller. Go figure. If you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sheree Whitfield, been a long time person on the show. She's accused of not paying her assistant. It's not uncommon. This happens. R. Kelly, let's talk about him really, really quick. R. Kelly and the gentleman who did the mass situation in Brooklyn, New York, allegedly they BFFs now. They have become the best of friends. And honey, honey, I guess he need a friend right now. And it's nothing. What are you going to say? Like, no, don't be his friend. They both in there, and they both not coming out of there for a mighty, mighty long. I don't even know if the shooter definitely not coming out of there. But R. Kelly, who knows if he coming out of there? So you might as well get a friend while you in there. I don't know. What you going to do? Oh, but hold on. All right, so I want to talk about this, and then I'll play it. There is a product that I have been I've been happy with it. My sister's been happy with it as well. I put her onto the product. It was a very good for a woman. It's a very good product because it has to do with our nether region. You feel me? It's all about taking care of the vagina. So anyway, it had been reported that they sold the company, but here's what she had to say. And so I'm going to play this. Hold on. I'm going to go back. Hold on.
We have evolved our washes. What we have not done is compromise what matters, which is being plant-derived, being pH balanced, and being backed by science. I assure you that this formula is what it was designed to be, which is safe, beautiful, and even more effective.
Now, I need to be that way, but listen.
So let's get into it. The honey pot has not been sold.
Girl, that's all I need to know. Because listen, I like the product. I do. It keeps your V great. They have an assortment of, scents. And since I've used it, I've not had any issues, like feminine issues where my pH balance is off. Like, I like the product, so I would hate if they compromise it in any way. But that's just me. I'm not telling y'all where to get y'all products, but also, and it's Black owned. And that's another reason why I rock with the product. So it's just like, don't lose your integrity. And a lot of times when it comes down to us having companies and products, we get jaded by the money and then we sell instead of just keeping the formula the same way, because there's a lot of dedicated customers out here like myself who will stick with a company just because they have a good product. And don't get it twisted. If the product is worth it, I'm going to pay the money for it. You feel me? Like, that is a product. it's not that expensive, but if it was worth it, you can go to the store. You can go. I can guarantee you can go to Rite Aid. You can go to CVS or Walgreens right now and buy some honey pot. And they have different types of product. They got where you can do they have the foam, like a foam that you can wash with. They got like a gel. They got a steam pot. They got all kinds of things that you can use just to keep your V together. And so the fact that if they lose their integrity, then I'm gonna have to move on, and I would hate to have to move on because I kind of like the product. But it is what it is. Where we at on time? Good. We already talked about all those things. A couple of things that was on there we already had a conversation about prior. Margot Robbie. If you don't know who she is the chick who played Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad, and might I add, she did a stellar job. But she's supposed to be taking Johnny Depp's place in the reboot of Pirates of the Caribbean, and she's like, it's like a female spin or whatever, but it is what it is. You know, I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't want to keep talking about this dude, so I'm gonna bypass him. Let's just say Joe Button rubs me the wrong way sometimes, but you know, when it's time to talk about him, I'm gonna talk about him. I'm just not gonna do it today. There's a lot going on in this world, and we just gotta be mindful of what's happening. I am gonna show some love because that's what I do on this podcast. That's what I do. My listening audience is impeccable. Thank you to whomever is watching the podcast right now. I would love it if you came in and said hello, but if you don't, that's up to you, baby. I'm just gonna say thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And thank you to my hubby. He didn't come through here, but he came through my phone, so that's even better. I gotta show some love, though. We are in 22 freaking countries and territories, and that's beautiful to me. We have bypassed one milestone. We're working on another one, and I love it. And I appreciate each and every person that comes through and downloads this podcast, takes a listen. You don't have to, but you do. So I'm going to show some love really quick. Bear with me, but it's love. First of all, the top 3 countries that show us the most love, I'm going to give y'all love first because it is what it is. Y'all love us. We love you. The United States, my country. Hi, I love you. Hi, my country. France, I love you. Oh, I love you, France. I always will love you. And I don't care what anybody says about my European love. I love France. It's a lot of culture and history there. And so I got love for them. Also, with a lot of culture and history there, the United Kingdom. I love you too. I do. And I appreciate how y'all came through and like, y'all just came through like, hey, we here, and I see y'all. So those are my top 3 countries. I'm going to show them love the way they deserve to be loved. But then after them is Germany and India and Brazil and the Netherlands and Singapore and Africa and Spain and the Philippines and Belgium and Australia and Japan and Mexico and Ireland and Nepal and Mauritius and Israel and Canada and Hong Kong and last but not least, Russia. And that's surprising to me. Well, no, I think I was more surprised with Israel, but Russia, hi, I appreciate you for being here. So I gotta give my city love really, really quick. I'm not doing the whole list, but I'm gonna give as much as I can. Columbus, Ohio, hi, thank you for coming through and checking the podcast and loving me the way you do. San Jose, hi, babies, they my day ones. I can't even do them like that. I love you, San Jose. I do. Shout out to Cali. Baltimore, Maryland, my city. I can't believe y'all let anybody beat y'all out, but whatever. Baltimore, Maryland, my city. I appreciate you. I love you, and we gonna get it together eventually, hopefully. No, France, I will not butcher the name of the city, but you know I love you. Spring Valley, Nevada, Frankfurt, hi, Germany, Washington, Virginia, Ashburn, Virginia, North Las Vegas, Nevada, Norton Shores, Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, Boardman, Oregon, Atlanta, Georgia, Las Vegas, Nevada, not North Las Vegas, but Las Vegas, Nevada. Where we at? Owings Mills, Maryland, Pikesville, Maryland, Boulder City, Nevada. No, India. I will not crush the name of the city, but thank you, India. I love you. Philly. Hi, Philly. Shout out to you in Randallstown, Maryland. And the last one I'm gonna say tonight, Singapore, Singapore. I appreciate you guys for coming through, checking this podcast. You don't have to, but you did. Now, what I'm gonna say is, hold on, let me send my boy message back. What I'm gonna say is this: it's a lot going on in this world. First, Young Jock, I hope that you fix the situation with your baby mama. I feel sorry for you a little bit because nobody deserves to be put in a situation because somebody is not happy about how you have to change things. But you really, it's just a conversation that needs to be had. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. A conversation. It goes a long way. And people too old to be acting like that. And like I said, when it boils down to it, it's about the kids. It's not about y'all. So I hope that y'all get that together. Blac Chyna, girl, you got a lot going on now that this case is over. So I wish you luck in your celebrity boxing match. That should be interesting. And like I said, I can't wait to see how that kind of plays out a little bit. Like, I want to see how that works out. I'm interested. It's a girl fight. I just want to see, and I hope that you coming to the Most High turns into a beautiful thing for you. I think you'll see that life changes once you do. So I hope that's real. I hope it's not a stunt, and you know what I mean. Change. Everybody needs some change at some point in time. To those who lost their lives due to idiots, I'm proud you're in my prayers. Your families are in my prayer. Nobody deserves that kind of pain or hurt. Nobody deserves that. So to the people in Buffalo, you have my condolences, those who lost family members, and I pray. I know y'all going someplace special because y'all didn't do anything. Y'all just was in the market grocery shopping or in church. To the people in California, you were at church praising the Most High. So I know that there is a better place for you. And it's unfortunate. I hope that they throw these dudes under the jail because that's what they deserve. And I hope that this young man from Buffalo don't get off like everybody else gets off. And I know that the dude out in Cali not going to get off because he's, whether y'all believe it or not, Asian people, he's a person of color. So they're going to get with him. But this young man in Buffalo, I'm interested to see because they already trying to spin that narrative that he's mentally ill. Yeah, okay, well, send his mentally ill ass somewhere where he can't hurt another person. How about that? They spinning that narrative though. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Dr. Dre, next time don't run your mouth. Just shh. Keep your mouth shut. Don't be telling nobody what you done made. Because, well, you didn't even tell it, to be honest, and I think that's unfair for anybody to say that Dr. Dre, he told it to his close friends and the people he was cool with. I believe it was Tyrese that gave up the goods. That's the part everybody need to talk about. It wasn't even Dr. Dre that told it like to the world. I believe it was Tyrese that went live and ran his mouth, and then that's how the deal got for you. He still wound up walking away with the deal, but he didn't wind up getting as much money as he would have gotten if a certain said person didn't open his mouth and run his mouth. That's why he should have waited till the deal was done before he told them niggas, because then he would have been the first black billionaire. You feel me? Well, as far as hip hop is concerned, anyway, he would have did it first. But no, he had to, talk to his homies, and then his homies don't know when to shut the fuck up, and told his business. Congratulations to Viola for receiving the Women in Motion Award. That's a beautiful thing, baby. Ain't that Black excellence? I do. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah. Again, we're here for this remake. We want to see how it turns out. Now, hopefully it doesn't turn out how the remake of How High did, but I didn't really feel like it was time for a remake of How High. House Party, that's one of them films you can kind of, and Kid and Play are in the film as well. They're in there. You feel me? But and that's the other thing. Red and Meth wasn't in the How How remake, so I felt like it wouldn't have done it justice anyway because they weren't there, and they were the whole premises of the How How movie. Like they made that movie, so that's probably why it didn't gain the traction that it did. But House Party, Kid and Play are going to be in there, and I don't know who else is going to be in there, but I do know DC Young Fly is going to be in it. So maybe it'll still have that flair that it had back in the 90s. You feel me? Because House Party movies, they was the joint, and you learned a lot of dance moves. Yeah, it was. I was back in them times when the movies came out. I could dance my ass off. I don't know about today, but back then I could. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes. Leave Lil Wayne alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. First of all, that's my birthday twin. Leave him alone. He be dealing with some stuff. I ain't gonna say that I be dealing with them things, but he be dealing with some stuff. Leave him alone. He be talking trash about sports. That's just what you do when it comes down to sports. You just talk trash. Rajon Rondo, it ain't that serious, baby. You don't be trying to kill your wifey over no daggone video games. I don't understand y'all was having just don't be pulling no guns out on her over no video game. I hope that's not what it was really over. First of all, don't be pulling no gun out on her, period. But I hope that's what it was not really about. Because that's a little weak and petty. Like, a video game, really? You ready to take somebody's life over that? Or you just wanted to scare the shit out of her? I don't know what you were thinking when that happened, but it's been reported that's what you had going on, and that ain't cool. You can't be out here doing that. R. Kelly, I guess, congratulations, you got a new best friend in jail. Like, you need one right now. He need a friend, so I can't tell that man not to have a jail. Sheree, pay your employees. Don't be having them out here talking about you because you didn't pay them. Just pay your employees. And yeah, I'm glad they getting down to the nitty gritty of these dealers. Man, fentanyl is serious, and apparently that was a part of the package of what he got with the situation that caused his demise. So rest in peace. Rest easy, Mac Miller. They working on it, baby. Honey Pot. Don't change the formula. Don't change anything about it. It's a good product. Leave it there. Just leave it alone. Leave it. I'm just saying. It smell good. It make your V smell good. You don't have no issues. You don't be having no kind of weird discharge. Like, it's good. It's a good product. Don't fuck up the formula. I hate when y'all do that. Go and change shit that don't need to be changed. It does not need to change. Oh my Lord. The Kevin Samuels GoFundMe thing was fake, y'all. So if you sent money, I don't know how that GoFundMe thing works and how you get your money back, but it might be a possibility for you to get your money back. I'm not making no promises, but his family said they don't want it, they don't need it, they got it covered. I'm just gonna call her Harley. I can't wait to see you in Pirates of the Caribbean. Although I am a huge Johnny Depp fan, and I want him back in it, but it's just too much going on with this whole court case situation with him and Amber Heard. I don't foresee it going down like that. Again, Rajon Rondo, it was over. And wait, y'all, and he pulled the gun on her in front of their kids. And like I said, it was over a video game. It's not that serious, baby. Y'all don't understand y'all could go to jail. Like, y'all really could. So let it go. And no, that wasn't mental illness. Well, it might be some mental illness, but nah, he need to go to jail. Oh, and if you're in Cali, this summer, they are doing this thing called Africon. So it's gonna be like you know how they do like Comic-Con and stuff like that. It's gonna be like an African culture, African American culture. Wherever you from in the world, if you're of African descent, then that's where you need to be. So I wanted to talk about that. I didn't want to get too in depth about it, but yeah. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna talk about this later. I think I'll talk about that on what Wired Wednesday, because it's not gonna be a Wet Wednesday this week. It's gonna be a Wired Wednesday. But I gotta play a commercial really quick, and then I'll come back and give my last little bit that I have to say. Because there's some things I have to say. So check this out.
What does getting it all done actually look like? A lot like this. Meet your new workspace. Oh, I'm not sharing the right screen, am I? Let's try this again. Meet your new workspace. Your whole team, right here. Let me just, sorry, Karen. All those projects on hold, just a click away from complete. Success is closer than you think. It's actually over there, right next to your Success Manager. It's built to expand as needed. The perfect freelancer for every project? Yes, please. Go ahead. You can use the F word as much as you want here. This is your selection of global freelance talent that never sleeps. All vetted for their excellence and their expertise. Love you, Kevin. Only thing left? Add your favorites to your list and share with your team. Okay, not all of them. Leave it to them to tackle all your business needs, leaving you free. Well, at least free to get more done. That's how fast they work.
Ready to transform your business?
Oh, that looks good. Love that. Approved. Oh, still sharing my screen.
Now, remember, if you have a business and you need some extra help, you can get all kinds of help with Fiverr. The link is in the description, either above or below, depending on how you watching. And you can get help for the low. I'm trying to tell you, I've used them a couple of times myself. Check them out. So we got a few things coming up, and I'm gonna keep it. I can go 1 minute over because I was a little late today. Got a few things coming up. We've already done our panel. I'm looking forward to doing many more panels. If you haven't seen that panel yet, it's on Facebook, on all of our pages. It's on YouTube. This just came out. That'll tell you what the panel was about. We had deep discussion. It was great. The vibe was there, and I enjoyed the people that I brought forth on the panel. Next up, we got the Preakness and Music, the Preakness Music and Arts Festival. We will be covering that this Saturday. Yeah. We will be covering that this Saturday, so come through, show love. We are also due for another smoke break. I can't wait. And the person that we'll have on the smoke break is Tony Hasburn. He will explain everything about his genre of music, and I cannot wait. Y'all got to break out of the norm. So I like to have different elements, different people. In June, we have gentleman out of DC. He's going to be on the show. We also have a wonderful author coming through to teach us about healing. And she does a lot of other things too. So we're going to talk to her about the things she got going on as well. So just check that out. Be ready for that. I am going to play the promo for this Tony Hasburn interview we're doing. As I leave this show. For those listening, you probably won't be able to, you won't be able to hear or see, you'll be able to hear the theme music, but you won't be able to see. But I will make sure, I'm trying to figure out how, like I said, you can check it out, or you could just wait till the 28th when I do the interview and just listen. And it's going to be vibes. It's going to be vibes. Dope artist, so I can't wait to talk to him. With that being said, let me send y'all off with this message. Mind your fucking business. Everybody's business is not your. But in case you want to get into other people's business, you just come right here back here to this podcast every Monday, and I'm telling people's business, so you don't have to go out there and mind other people's business because it's dangerous out there. Like, mind your business, though. Stay in your lane. Whatever. We gonna get to that in a minute. Love your babies. Hug your babies. My baby's sick right now, but I got her. But tell them how great they are, how intelligent they are, how wonderful they are. Work them little brains. You know what I mean? If they want to work for NASA, for damn it, they could work for NASA. Let them know they can, and encourage them. Let them know that they can be anything they set their hearts and their minds to, and that's period. And last but not least, stay in your fucking lane, because you know when you cross over the other lanes, collisions happen, and don't nobody want that. Nobody wants that. Just stay in your lane. And with that being said, I love you guys. Thank you for those who tuned into the podcast. Thank you for those who listen to the podcast, download the podcast, show love to the podcast. I appreciate you so much. And with that being said, good night. I love you. Good night.